The Way of Strategy. In China and Japan, practitioners of the Way have been known as masters of strategy. Warriors must learn this way. Recently, there have been people sitting on in the world as strategists, but they are usually just sword fencers. The attendants of the Kashima Kantori shrines of the province of Hitachi received instruction from the gods and made schools based on this teaching, traveling from country to country instructing men. This is the recent meaning of strategy. In olden times, strategy was listed among the 10 abilities and 7 arts as a beneficial practice. It was certainly an art, but as a beneficial practice, it was not limited to sword fencing. The true value of sword fencing cannot be seen within the confines of a sword fencing technique. The Ground Book. If we look at the world, we see arts for sale. Many use equipment to sell their own selves, as if with the nut and the nut has become less than the flower. In this kind of way of strategy, both those teachings and those learning the way are concerned with coloring and showing off their technique, trying to hasten the bloom of the flower. They speak of this dojo and that dojo. They are looking for profit. Someone once said, immature strategy is the cause of grief. That was a true saying. There are 4 ways in which men pass through life as gentlemen, farmers, artisans, and merchants. The way of the farmer, using agricultural instruments, he sees spring through autumns with an eye on the changes of the season. Second is the way of the merchant. The winemaker obtains his ingredients and puts them to use to make his living. The way of the merchant is always to live by taking profit. This is the way of the merchant. Thirdly, the gentleman warrior, carrying the weaponry of his way. The way of the warrior is to master the virtue of his weapons. If a gentleman dislikes strategy, he will not appreciate the benefit of weaponry. So must he not have a little taste for this? Fourthly, the way of the artisan. The way of the carpenter is to become proficient in the use of his tools. First, to lay his plans with a true measure, and then to perform his work according to plan. Thus he passes through life. These are the 4 ways of the gentleman, the farmer, the artisan, and the merchant.